I'm Kiana Davis, Senior Manager of Educational Programming at the Jed Foundation, a nonprofit that protects emotional health and prevents suicide for teens and young adults. Today, we're going to be talking about social media. We're going to explore the impact of social media on teenage brains and the mental health risk and benefits of social media and how you can support and empower students. We know that social media plays an important role in your students' lives. According to the Pew Research Center, up to 95% of youth ages 13 to 17 use social media, with more than 30% reporting that they use it almost constantly. So, what do we know about the impact that social media has on teenage brains? The prefrontal cortex is right behind our forehead, and it's responsible for higher order thinking like logic, reasoning, and responsibility. It also helps us process emotions before we make decisions. You could call it the CEO of our brain. In teenage brains, the prefrontal cortex is not fully developed. In fact, it won't be until about age 25 or 26. So this means that a 14-year-old is a decade away from having the full ability to process emotions and make decisions about what they're seeing. So no matter how smart or how savvy they are, they're just not developmentally ready to understand how social media is affecting them. On the other hand, college students who are closer to having a fully developed prefrontal cortex often have more self-awareness about their social media use and can identify when they've had too much. Middle schoolers and high schoolers, simply because of the stage of their brain development, are more likely to stay on social media even if they are flooded with stress and anxiety. This is an important reason why adults, including teachers, should be ready to support and empower students around social media use. Social media can have long-term effects on teens' development. One study found that children and teens who grew up checking social media experienced changes in their brains. They became hypersensitive to feedback from their peers. They got locked into a loop of social rewards such as likes and comments, and social punishments like blocking and ghosting. Another study found that adolescents who spent more than 3 hours a day on social media doubled their risk of experiencing poor mental health outcomes like depression and anxiety. What are some of the other mental health risks of social media usage? They include increased risk of low self-esteem, cyberbullying, which is associated with anxiety, depression, substance misuse, and suicidal thinking, sleep interference, and sleep is a protective factor for robust mental health, and increased social media can prevent teens from getting enough sleep. In particular, adolescent girls experience an elevated risk for poor self-esteem, negative body image, and disordered eating. While it's crucial to understand the risk, it's also important to explore the benefits of social media. It's a huge part of teens' lives, and there are positive sides to it. Teens use social media to find friends, to connect to their communities. They can often find affirming support from people who understand them and will listen to them. For some teens, they can find connections that they are unable to find in their schools or communities. And connection is critical to mental health. And online spaces can be a protective factor for students who may otherwise be marginalized. LGBTQIA+ youth and girls of color in particular have found and created communities online. Additionally, social media can be a place of advocacy for teens. They can find like-minded peers and work to make a difference. And as with adults, social media can be fun. It can be an entertaining way for teens to take a break or distract themselves from life stressors. To help teens balance the risk and the benefits of social media, we recommend an empowerment model. An empowerment model is an approach designed to foster power in individuals or groups, enabling them to gain control over their lives, increase their self-esteem, and achieve their full potential. You can empower students when it comes to social media by guiding them through a needs assessment, asking questions like, what do you like about social media? What do you want to achieve by using it? How do you want to show up on social media? It can also be incredibly empowering to support students in tracking their social media use. Many teens and adults underestimate their time online. Often, after exploring their usage, teens will recognize that they would rather invest their time in other activities. Finally, you can empower students to support each other by creating social media peer mentoring programs. Peer to peer mentoring can enhance social media literacy, provide emotional support, develop resilience, increase positive behavioral change, and link students to mental health resources when needed. As you continue the course, you'll learn more about this empowerment model. You'll also explore how to support students by recognizing signs and symptoms of social media misuse and cyberbullying. Thanks so much for spending time with us.